Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am taking my walk. So, as part of my healthy routine, well, I'm in the midst of 75 hard. Let's just start there. As I'm transitioning, I really want to make sure that I'm leaning into healthy habits. I shared with you guys on my last video. It's so important for me to lean into healthy habits, have really good routines that will help me to kind of stay grounded, feel like myself, and just make sure I'm not leaning into the wrong things during a time that's very trying for me emotionally. So I am up and Adam for my morning walk. So you guys would have saw that I did my morning hygiene routine, the usual stuff, washing my face, brushing my teeth, putting on my vitamin C. I also am doing a facial massage at the moment, and I'm trying to kind of just like relax the muscles in my face. Honestly, it feels amazing. It feels really, really good to be able to do that. I'm actually doing that twice a day right now. I just started a couple days ago. So doing those massages twice a day, and my skin feels absolutely amazing. I actually just got my my sunscreen in the mail, because I like to use a lot of Eastern skincare, so Japanese skincare, Korean skincare. So I got my Korean sunscreen in the mail, which I absolutely love. Normally I do go for these walks a little bit later in the morning, and I will need to do that because it is dark, girl. Girl, it's so dark out here. Right now it's like 6:20, 6:21, something like that in the morning. And I get the most amazing views on these walks. Like, I'll put pictures up here so that you guys can see all of the amazing views that I get during these walks when the sun is up. Just because I don't like that it's so dark. And there's a lot of wildlife in this area. Like, there's deer, there's rabbits, there's a lot of different birds, and I need to be able to see. So we can't be doing this. This is way too dark. So it's just a matter of figuring out the routine that works for me. I just happened to wake up. Like, I got about 7 hours of sleep last night, and I was up. So I was like, you know what? It's 5:30. Let me just get up, start my little routine. So I'll show you guys later, but I do have my Stanley cup with me. It's 40 ounces. I try to drink at least 3 of these a day, but it is so freaking hard. I think that's the hardest part about 75 hard, is just getting in all of the water. Like, the water is ridiculous. So I try to have at least 3 of my Stanley cups. I honestly usually get through about 2 comfortably in a day. The third one is usually a struggle for me. But you just stay the course, do your best. That's what I've been telling myself. I've also been listening to a book, The Queen's Code. I'll put it up on the screen. That book has actually shifted my reality significantly. That has shifted my reality. There's so much that I feel like I don't understand about the masculine and female dynamic, men and women, how we should relate to each other, how to understand and interpret some of the things that they say, how to really acknowledge and support a man. So that book has shifted my reality. I recommend that any woman, period, but definitely any woman who is in relationship with men, which is all of us, I recommend that we all listen to that audiobook. And I say listen to it because that is what the author recommends. Her name is Allison. I forgot her last name. But I'll put it on the screen. She recommends that you listen to the book. I kind of feel like it's like a textbook for women who are on their feminine journey and are in a place where they can actually relate to the masculine and feminine, right? Like, once you're in a place where you are aligned on who you are as a woman, how you want to show up in the world, kind of that you care about this kind of thing, I think it's good to start to understand the polarity between masculine and feminine. So I absolutely recommend that book. That book has literally changed my mind. Like, I saw her on a podcast. I'll see if I can link it down below. I saw Allison on a podcast, and literally as soon as she started to talk about certain things, and I was just like, oh my God, how did I not know this stuff? I just didn't know. And so I listened to the podcast. It really was like calling me to the carpet, holding me accountable for who I am as a woman, how I'm showing up in my relationship. And then I was like, you know what? I got to get this book. But in the podcast, she recommends that people listen to the book, which I absolutely agree, because it's written out kind of like a play or a movie would be written. So I recommend definitely listening to the book first. But I would like to get a hard copy, because that would help me to really understand and interpret some of the things that I want to go back to, some of the things I want to highlight, some of the things that I want to just reference very quickly in the book. Like, this is a book that you would just like mark up, highlight, and make the absolute most of. So I highly, 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 highly recommend The Queen's Code. So I've already listened to it. I'm going to start it again, but right now, I'm not going to be listening to anything because it's dark and I need to be able to hear what's going on as well. So I'm just going to enjoy my walk. The sun will come up very shortly here and it'll be fine. So yeah, this is just like some of my morning routine. I'll show you the rest of it because, girl, we got a real morning routine going on. None of that fluff, none of that little simple stuff. No, we have a real deal, holy filled morning routine. So if you're interested in what I'm doing to kind of get through a difficult time and add structure back to my life, or just kind of maintain some sort of structure, then yeah, just stay with me. Stay with me. It's dark right now, but stay with me. Okay? So I'm going to continue my walk and yeah, we'll keep chatting here.
Most of the men crossed their legs, presumably protecting their manhood from her friend's cutting remark. Kimberly, with the best seat in the house, was surprised that the speaker seemed bemused by the comment. As the speaker slowly drew closer, he deliberately appraised Melissa's pretty face and athletic figure. Then he smiled and said, "Oh, I see. You're a frog farmer." "A what?" Melissa demanded. "A frog farmer." Narrowing her eyes suspiciously, Melissa demanded, "And what exactly is a frog farmer?" "Well," he replied with a lopsided grin, "some women turn frogs into princes. But that takes a queen, not a princess or a shrew. Like most women, you, my dear, turn princes into frogs."
So I am back from my morning walk. I drank a fairly good amount of water, which I'm really happy with. So now it's time to finish the rest of my morning routine. I am in a women's group. It's online, and we have certain requirements that we have to do in the morning. So we have to share our morning routines. We have to share what we're eating for breakfast. We do a journal prompt each morning, and then we also do a reading. So we're actually reading a book called Simple Abundance. So this is the book. I'm gonna go ahead and do my reading for this because we have to read it and interpret it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the reading, and then I will also do my journal prompt because we typically have to do our journal prompts and then share them in a group chat. So busy morning before I start my meetings. I work from home, so I'm gonna get all of this stuff done and then I'll check back in with you. So yeah, I had to take a quick break from my morning routine to make a Canva video. So I actually logged into Canva this morning and I saw that they did the glow up. I did a TikTok video about it a while ago and it went kind of crazy. So I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and pause here and do a little quick TikTok video about the Canva glow up. So if you haven't gotten a chance to do the Canva glow up, I would say go ahead and do it now. It looks like it's probably going to be available to everyone. And the features are pretty cool. It's something that I use on a daily basis at this point. Absolutely love Canva. So yeah, check that out. So getting back to my reading here. So today's reading in Simple Abundance was about authentic success. So what it means to create success for yourself. And I love what she talks about here. She says that one of the most accurate quotes that she saw around success was on a lady's headstone, and it said the only pain she ever caused is when she left us. And I thought that was an interesting take on what this person interprets as success, where she's not causing any harm to anyone's life. She is just, you know, being her best self, and when she actually left, that's what causes the pain for her loved ones. So I thought that was an interesting take on it. And then the way that this author, what is her name? Sarabon Brethnak. I like the way that she ends a lot of the passages because it kind of gives you like food for thought. Like she kind of puts an exclamation point on whatever she's talking about as she wraps things up. So she says, authentic success is knowing how simply abundant your life is exactly as it is today. Authentic success is being so grateful for the many blessings bestowed on you and yours that you can share your portion with others. Authentic success is living each day with a heart overflowing with gratitude. And that really resonates with me. I think that a lot of times, especially in the society that we live in, where it's all about like capitalism, striving, going hard, hustle culture, blah, 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 it gets to be a lot. Like it gets to be a lot. So I like to try to get myself back to curious when I'm feeling frustrated and getting myself back to gratitude when I'm feeling overwhelmed. So I love the way that she kind of puts that exclamation point on what it means to have authentic success, and really being where you are now, like knowing wherever you're planted at in this moment is exactly where you need to be. So yeah, it's kind of nice to have this book, which is kind of like a daily, it's a daily read type of book. And then to have a group of women that I'm able to talk about these things with and kind of share our own interpretations of the reading. I've really been enjoying that. So this has been a major part of my daily routine. Coming up here in about 17 minutes or so, we have to do our daily affirmations. So we have to send over a voice note with the affirmations that our group leader has chosen for the week. And then a few, like maybe 30 minutes after that, we also have to do our journaling. So I typically have a meeting during the journaling. So I'm going to go ahead and start that now. So I've written it down. What did you observe as a child? So I'll go back a little bit. Yesterday's journal prompt was around limiting beliefs. And today's follow-up or continuation of that is, what did you observe as a child? What kind of limiting beliefs did your parents have around money and abundance? And this is such a great question. Actually, about a week and a half ago or so, I actually had this conversation with my mom around how she looks at money, how she views money, because she was doing a volunteer event and she had to get some donations from people and asking for those donations. And she was saying that she shared with me that she was having a hard time asking for things, specifically asking for money. And I thought that was so interesting, where she said that she had to work. I asked her, you know, what is her perspective on money? And she said that she's always had to work hard for it, and asking for it has been a journey for her. It's been really uncomfortable. And I thought that was interesting because she's doing work for the community. She's trying to raise funds. At that time, it was for a backpack drive to give elementary and high school students backpacks and school supplies, and then provide lunches to the community. So doing excellent work that people should want to fund, in my own opinion. I think people get more money to do less. So asking for money for something like that, to me, feels like, your heart is in the right place and it's the perfect thing to ask for. But she was sharing that she has some restrictions around that where she feels uncomfortable asking. And I thought that was interesting. So we had a little bit of a conversation around that, but it kind of helped to inform my own understanding of how I think of money and, some of the things that I need to revisit around my own understanding and how I want to approach it going forward. So very timely journal prompt. So like I said, the mornings are jam-packed. I kind of took a little intermission. I do also have to do a report. So I'm going to get on it. I'm going to finish my journal, and then I'm going to kind of work on the digital portion of the journal because, like I said, we have to send it in the chat. So I'm going to do that, and then that will conclude my morning routine.